If you run a brick and mortar business that relies on appointments, whether that's consults, quotes, or service appointments to make money, this video will not only make you more money, it'll save you a ton of headaches at the same time. I'm going to run you through the 7 core automations that every appointment-based business needs to have. We're going to keep things basic. There's no growth hacks here. These are just the automations that make sure leads don't get missed, they show up for appointments, and we turn conversations into actual revenue. So before we hop in, just a little bit about myself. My name's Nick Archer. I run Capture Digital. We help fitness businesses scale with systems, and the automations that I'm about to show you, we already use within our business, and we've used to help our clients generate thousands of appointments and hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue. So without further ado, let's hop right in and I'll share my screen. All right, guys, we're here inside of GoHighLevel, and before we hop in the automations, I want you guys to just really notice one thing, and that's that there's really a common theme here. These automations are all going to be doing 2 things. They all are going to categorize the lead. So it's going to tell us where they're at in the pipeline. So whether they are a new lead, whether they have booked an appointment, whether they've shown up or not, if they're a new customer, etc., you guys get it. And the second thing that all these workflows have in common is they're going to be doing one of 2 things. A, they're going to be moving somebody closer to an appointment, or B, they're going to be making that person more valuable long-term. And I'll explain what that means. So the first one in this list of 7 automations is going to be maybe a no-brainer, and that's an opt-in workflow. So this is going to be something to handle leads as they come in real time. So when somebody, whether they fill out a form on social media, whether they, text us, whether they reach out some other way, we want to immediately triage these people and categorize them based on what stage in the pipeline they're at. And like I said, all of these workflows are going to be categorizing people as such. So this workflow, the basic structure, what it's going to look like is at the top, we're going to have a trigger that's going to be either like a lead form submitted or some other event in which you guys collect a new lead's info. As soon as someone fills out a form and gives you their contact info, something needs to happen immediately. So like I said, we're going to categorize these people and we're going to reach out to them. So we have 2 goals here. One is to tag and categorize the lead, and the second is to engage them in conversation and move them closer to an appointment. Now, because this is an important one, I'll go through this whole workflow in a later video, but there are a few key important factors here. We want to get in touch with people as soon as possible. That's where the automation process comes in. We want to get in contact with them right away. And we want the messages that we're sending them to feel personal and not automated. And this is where I really see a lot of businesses miss the mark. They're either too slow reaching out to people, or they just blast a generic "thanks for opting in" message, and it doesn't feel personal enough. This should feel like a real person texting them, and there's a little bit of an art to this, which I definitely will go into in future videos. But for now, what you need to know is step 1, you need a automation to handle new leads as they come into the pipeline. Number 2, and for appointment-based businesses, this might be obvious for you guys as well, but this is going to be some sort of appointment booked workflow. So when somebody opts in and they do book an appointment with us, obviously we want to send them reminders. Obviously we want to categorize them and move them into the proper stage of the pipeline. And this workflow is going to do both of those things along with a very important third thing that a lot of people miss out on, and that's engaging with the lead. So we want to make sure that we're not just sending them generic, your appointment is at X time on X day. We want to actually have them engaging back and forth during this process and the lead up to the appointment, giving us more information and building more of a commitment to showing up for that appointment. The main job of this workflow is to make sure that people actually show up. So we're going to do that obviously by sending reminders, like I said, by engaging with the lead back and forth, having some sort of dialogue in the lead up to the appointment. And the third thing is sending over social proof, whether that's testimonials, case studies, Google reviews. You guys know what social proof is. We want to make sure that they have an abundance of that before showing up to the appointment. We want it to feel like a no-brainer for them. Whatever the result is that you guys promise customers, we want them to feel like they are guaranteed to get that result. And we want to have a ton of backing and a ton of past people who are similar to them who have got a similar result, so that they know that they're showing up and they're in good hands and they're going to get what they came for. So 3 things this workflow needs to have. It needs to categorize leads like the rest of the workflows, send reminders, which is a no-brainer. It needs to engage with the lead, have some sort of back and forth, some sort of dialogue where the lead is building more of a commitment to the appointment, and it needs to show them social proof that they are going to actually get what they want when they show up. Now, the third one, and this is going to feel all too familiar for those of you guys who have appointment-based businesses, and that's going to be some sort of workflow for people who cancel or don't show up to their appointment. Now, these are 2 separate automations, but essentially they serve the same function, so I'll just include them in one. The job of these is to get people who have not showed up for an appointment or canceled an appointment to go ahead and rebook that appointment and actually show up and hopefully become a customer for you guys. So hopping into, for example, the no-show workflow here, this is going to fire, the trigger is going to be when somebody doesn't show up for an appointment. So what's going to happen is it's going to be, again, A, categorize, and then B, followed up with, we're going to say, hey, we missed you for your appointment at XYZ day and time. Just want to make sure everything was okay. Still would love to have you. What's a better time to come in? We're going to send them a reschedule link to make it really easy for them and save some of that time for you guys going back and forth and getting them booked in manually. But like I said previously, the name of the game here is really personalization. So if you do have to go back and forth manually and they say, oh, this time would be good, go ahead and do that. Don't just send them a link if they're asking for a specific time. Book them yourselves. It's just going to make the whole process feel a lot more personal. And again, we want to make sure that these people are showing up for appointments and they feel obligated to, and people only feel obligated to other people. They don't feel obligated to act in the interests of automated systems or robots at this point, at least. And honestly, most businesses kind of just give up here. They might send one text or call them if they don't show up for an appointment, and then kind of just let the lead go off, and maybe they show back up, maybe they don't, maybe they'll come back in at some point. But no-show leads aren't bad leads. They're really just people who had bad timing and it wasn't the right time for them. We want to make sure that we still make good on that promise that we made them to get them in for the offer that they had claimed. And that's why we want to make sure that we still follow up with these people and treat them like good quality leads, which they are. Now, the next one is going to be long-term nurture. Now, all of the previous workflows that I discussed really feed into this workflow if somebody doesn't show up for an appointment and they don't sign up or become a customer with you guys. So at some point in the opt-in workflow, if they don't respond to any of the messages or book an appointment, they're going to be fed into the long-term nurture. By the same token, if they don't show up or if they cancel and they don't rebook, at some point they're going to end up in the long-term nurture. This is really just a workflow that keeps people warm in the pipeline. The goal of this is not to necessarily book somebody right away. It's going to have a longer, like if I pop into the workflow here, it's going to have a much longer time horizon that we're looking at. The space between messages is going to be weeks and months, not days or hours. And really the goal is to have you guys top of mind whenever the lead does decide that it's the right time for them to take advantage of whatever service or offer that you guys had previously been in touch about. These messages are, again, going to include social proof. They're going to include just free value, giving them tips, tricks around whatever services that you offer, breaking beliefs for these people. We're going to have a few texts that might be designed to just re-engage with them. Sometimes what we like to do is just send memes. That kind of stuff plays really well for re-engagement, but really the goal is just to position you guys as an authority in the space and to have you top of mind for somebody who has reached out in the past, so that maybe it wasn't the right time when they reached out, maybe they jumped the gun a little bit, but this is the kind of person who would be interested in your service, and we want to make sure that when they are interested again and the time is right, you guys are the no-brainer and they pick that phone back up, give you a call, shoot you a text, send an email, and go ahead and actually book that appointment that they had initially opted in for. Now, the next one is a big one that a lot of businesses I see miss out on, and this is some sort of show-up nurture. So you guys might have a bit of a longer sales cycle if you guys are taking consultations or you are, showing up to give people quotes, and your sales process is a little bit longer. So this would apply for gyms, renovation businesses, selling a more high-ticket offer. This isn't necessarily going to apply for like a nail salon where somebody's booked an appointment to come in and get their nails done. You guys who are running consultations know all too well the I need to think about it, or I need to check with the spouse, whatever the case may be. You have this consultation with them, they seem like a good fit, but they go off and they go home and they tell you, I just need to think about it. Now, for most businesses, what this means is you're going to have to follow up with them manually, and this is not only time consuming, but generally not as effective because you're not going to be as consistent with the follow-up. If you have 10, 50, 100 people to follow up with who told you they need to think about it, people just aren't going to get the level of follow-up that they need to actually make that decision. So this workflow's job is, again, obviously to categorize people as a show-up nurture and to follow up with them effectively and essentially nudge them in the direction of coming to a decision. Whether that decision is working with you or not, we just want to make sure that they have clarity and they come to a decision. We want to help them along that path. So this workflow, we call it showed no close. You could call it a show up nurture, whatever the case may be. Its job is to turn those I need to think about it into here are my credit card details. So now we're going to move into the post sale. And this is a fun workflow, honestly, because it means that you just signed up a new customer. That's great. Congratulations. So some sort of new member or new client workflow. The job, again, is going to be, you guys have noticed the theme, to categorize them, put them into the stage of the pipeline that means that they have actually signed up and they're a new customer with you guys. But the job doesn't end there. We want to plan for future value. These people have already paid you, but there is a lot of extra value beyond that we want to make sure that we capitalize on. So they're going to be removed from all the sales workflows. And the next step is going to vary from business to business depending on the time to value for you guys and your customers. So for example, in our space, if we're working with gyms, typically we are going to see about like a 30 to 60 day time to value where, the client or the member is starting to see some benefits and they are primed and ready to leave a review. So we want to do two things with this workflow. We want to, one, request reviews, and two, request referrals. So on the reviews front, you guys know how powerful Google reviews are. They're going to up your search ranking, whether that's in the local search for gyms in your area, nail salons in your area, or if you guys run an online business, you'll rank better compared to your competitors. Either way, the downstream effect is going to be more customers down the road for you guys and better social proof online. So sending a review request, whether it's for a gym in 30 days or like a nail salon day of, if you've done a great job, they're going to leave you a good review, and that's just going to up your ranking in search and have a knock-on effect down the line. That's going to bring in more customers for you and make it easier for you to close the customers that do come in. Step two is going to be sending a referral request. So this might be a little bit longer down the line for gyms or longer time to value businesses. Could be right away for a nail salon or something where the time to value is really short. And this is offering some sort of incentive. I know most of you guys have a referral program. Make that front and center. Let the customer know, hey, if you bring in a friend, we'll give you your next session for free. Whatever your referral program is, make that known and send that out so that we can go ahead and turn that one customer into 2, into 4, into 8. You guys get the picture. And the last one kind of ties into that new member automation, but this is something you can run right away to generate a ton of Google reviews depending on how many existing members you have. And this is an existing member review campaign. So this is a really easy, quick win that you guys can run at any point. You can run it, once a year, once a quarter, depending on how often you guys get new members in. This is a great campaign. We've seen it double or triple the number of views that some of our clients have who have run this, and it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you any ad spend. The idea behind this is we want to send out review requests to all of your existing customers, and we make it really easy for them by just sending them a quick Google review link. You guys can find this by going to your Google business profile, navigating to the main page and finding the little request reviews button, copy paste that link, and we're going to send it out. We'll send a couple of texts, couple of emails. It's not a long workflow. We give them a thank you if they do leave a review. And the idea here is just to remove any friction and make it really easy for your happy clients and members to leave you guys reviews. Tell more people about it. And again, that'll have a knock-on effect and make it easier to get more people in the door in the future. I don't have to explain the benefits of reviews to you guys. I'm sure you know having an appointment-based business, it really does make all the difference when people come in ready to buy versus not knowing who you guys are. So anyways, guys, that's the full breakdown. If you watch this and realized you're missing a couple of these, don't worry, it's completely normal. Most businesses are, to be honest. If you wanted to get started on automating some of these processes yourself and you don't already use GoHighLevel, I've left my affiliate link in the description. If you sign up through that link, you'll get a 14-day free trial. If you use that link, it really does help me out. So if you do end up signing up through my link, let me know, shoot me a DM, leave a comment, and I'll send you what's called a snapshot, where essentially you can just plug and play these exact automations that I showed you right into your CRM. Saves you all the trouble of building them yourself, and I'll give this to you completely for free as a thank you for signing up through that link. Same pricing as going direct, but if you use that link, it'll just save you a lot of headache, and I'll give you these automations completely for free. That's gonna be it for this video, guys. If you do run a brick and mortar or online business that relies on appointments and you are looking for more content around using systems to help scale your business, whether that's within platforms like GoHighLevel or through running paid ads on social media, do me a quick favor and hit subscribe. I post content like this on the regular, and I'll be sharing with you guys in real time what's been working for our clients and how you might be able to plug those same systems into your business. Cheers.